The world is dark, and we are alive. You're on the SS Orangeyes. As 10 days ago, things got dark. Everyone thought it was some sort of crazy military drill. Everyone thought it was some sort of confusion, smokescreen. Clearly, this is not something that would be out of our control, right? I mean, look at our ships. Look at our aircraft. This would be within our total control. And then things started disappearing. Something simple. Gear, equipment, weapons. Then whole ships started disappearing. Airplanes out of the sky. They were meant for the SS Orangeyes. Where'd they go? They were supposed to be here at 0800. It's 10 o'clock. Go ahead, Rex. Tell us about your day. Tell us about your character.
Well, I've been here in the mess hall and things have not been good. I can't keep the food hot. I can't keep morale up. That's just how it goes. That's as simple as that. And we need that kitchen back online. That's gonna keep all of us going. That's what we need.
Captain Giblets, tell us about you. What do you look like? What are your thoughts?
I've been spending the day in the captain's quarters. Actually, the hull of the ship where the command board is, watching as the 3- and 4-star general who run the ship are trying to figure out what's going on. And I'm sitting in the doorway just chuckling at how poor of a job they're doing and how this is turning into a total disaster. They don't know what lights are going on, what lights are contributing. The entire switchboard is lit up, and they don't know which lights are contributing to the failure and which ones aren't. And do I feel like helping? Not really.
Steven?
You know, up until it went dark, when equipment around the ship went missing, it would have a strange habit of being found in my locker. I wish that were the case right now. We've had ships and planes disappearing. But what has not disappeared is our reconnaissance jet. However, I currently lack the tools to repair it. And so, I sit here pondering, where could those tools be? Did they disappear into thin air like so many other things? Or is someone on this ship deliberately hiding them from us?
Things have taken a turn for the worse as calls aren't coming back from the shore. You feel like getting to the shore would be the best instance, especially over the past 5 days where, beyond tools, people have started going missing. We'll use these dice. What do you guys want to do? You find yourself in the mess hall with Rex, mealtime, but nothing seems to be there. The materials, the food, the utensils, everything has gone missing in his kitchen. What do you do?
First of all, I have to comment. Rex, this is worse than Mom's cooking. What are you doing to us?
Well, hey man, listen. You want to get back here with the rats and the roaches and these idiots who have never touched a spatula before, and you want to try and do better?
You know what? I'll stay up on the flight deck. Thank you very much.
That's right, that's right. Leave the real work to us.
I'm so glad they don't see me right now. I'm in the back corner of the kitchen, and there's a special little locker just for the captain and for the general's
For the officers?
For the officers' food. And I open the fridge and I start looking. There's some roast beef and ham from the night prior, before all the kitchen went dark. It's probably the last remaining food on the ship, and I just take a big bite of it.
Go ahead, roll for it.
How many?
Roll all the dice, all 10 dice. 10 candles, 10 dice. You're looking for at least a 6. I'm rolling my pool as well. My pool is 0.
Is here.
And you can roll it out front. 1s get removed. Unless you want to burn your trait, which is not on top, so you can't use your trait. But you would lose these dice out of the pool.
These 3?
Yeah, all 3 1s, yep. I'll put a couple over here. You have at least 1 6, so
I
you
roll
keep
again.
average. Yep, here's a 6.
Okay.
So you have 1 success. You have succeeded.
Okay.
So you're eating your sandwich. Continue.
Okay.
What does the sandwich taste like?
So there's, it's roast beef, and the outside is like a crunchy, like baguette sort of bread, and there's like brie cheese on it, and it's supposed to be melting, but it's been in the fridge for a while, so I'd like to pretend that it's fresher than it is. And I take a big bite out of it, and there's a giant crunch sound, and everybody sort of turns around, and they're like, wait.
Oh.
What is that? We hear food, and they kind of smell the old, like, brie cheese, and it's kind of tickling their nostrils, and they're like, wait, I thought we were...
Pungent.
It's pungent, yeah, and they're like, we thought there was no food. Where is it coming from? And so I quickly take the brie cheese roast beef sandwich that I've concocted in this quality kitchen, and I shove it back in the fridge that has a special lock on it. And I try to lock it quickly before they notice anything.
So we've been squabbling, sibling squabble over here, I think. Just grumbling. Did you hear that, Steve? But we catch kind of a wind of the smell and the crunch over there. What the hell?
You ever feel like people are holding out on us in these dark days?
I've been feeling like that my whole life. Let's go see what the hell's going on over here. So we're gonna go march over.
All right, roll for it.
All these here?
All the remaining dice. Yeah, you can keep them away if it's tough to go around that.
1,
Okay.
6, 1.
A 6. All right.
So, all right, let's march on over. So, Steve, hey, you see anything, Steve? Is there anybody back there? So I'm looking over kind of in one corner of this pretty large kitchen for this, of course, huge ship. It's a massive kitchen.
I think I saw Giblets back there.
What? The commander?
Well, you didn't say anything.
I tell ya. Things are going missing. We have nothing. And then there's the officer over here.
Okay, oh, Commander, hello. Sir.
Yeah, how can I help you?
Did you see anybody back here? We thought we heard something.
I wipe a little croissant or baguette from my chin, and I'm like, no, I didn't see a thing.
Well, sir, we were hoping that we could permission to go and try and fix this kitchen, sir.
The lights flickered.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think is going on with it?
I don't know. I mean, half of it's electric, half of it's gas. So I think there might be an issue with the reactor, or I don't know. Steve, what do you think?
I think we're having power failures all over the ship. I think the reactor is something to look at. I think we also have to look at the propulsion system in general, do a check of all of our systems. That's going to take crew. That's going to take time. I suggest we delegate that.
How much time is it going to take? Realizing I only have one extra sandwich left in there, and then I'm in the same boat as everyone else. So I'm trying to get this show on the road. So how much time do you think this is going to take?
Depends on what's wrong. Could be a couple hours, could be days.
Days?
You hear the twisted metal of the ship, shrouded in complete darkness beyond the flickering lights of your kitchen.
Permission to speak freely?
Please.
Commander? This place is falling apart around us. I think we need to keep morale high. I think we need to put on a brave face in front of the rest of the crew. And I think the three of us need to be able to speak freely to each other, away from the ears of the rest of them.
I agree with that. You know, it's not in my hands. Unfortunately, I'm not the general and the commander of this ship. I'm second or third in command. But, you know, those guys clearly aren't doing enough for this ship.
Roll.
Okay, you got a 6. This is with 1. Okay.
All right.
You have narration.
Sir, then in respect of what we're talking about, can we get a move on? Can we get to work? I got a lot of food to prepare.
You can, but just know that if we're successful, remember who gave you permission. And keep your loyalties close. Don't let anyone know what you're working on. Because the rest of the ship, the general of the ship does not want anybody involved. They think they have it all under control, and I can tell you, clearly they don't. Because I just had my last sandwich.
Yes, sir. So, Steve, where should we go?
I'm gonna head down and check the reactor. I think business as usual for the rest of the crew.
Okay, well, I guess I'll come with you.
What do you mean, as usual, for the rest of the crew? We can't let them know what we're working on. Shouldn't you guys be working on something?
Oh, the rest of the crew we want to keep preoccupied with their duties
Perfect.
while we investigate.
The lights flicker, but it's a long pause before they turn back on.
Let's get down to the reactor.
Let's go.
And then what am I supposed to do?
Come with us, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, roll for it, Brandon.
We're going down to the reactor. Nice.
3 6s. All right.
Oh, nice.
Ultra success.
All right. So we head down to the reactor.
You can hear it sizzling, sparking, and just reacting in a very haphazard sort of way. It's not connected to the right pieces or something. It sounds like something's inside of it.
Sounds like something is inside of it. All right, well, we are going to open the access hatch. Steve is going to open the access hatch, taking all the appropriate precautions. And
You hear some shuffling from around. You know that Bryce usually works here.
Bryce.
You hear like a voice from within the depths of it.
All right, Steve knows something's wrong. He's just going in.
Anybody got their weapons?
Always.
So I've got my sidearm.
Yeah.
I just got my strong voice.
Rex and I will take point, drawing
All right.
our sidearms and
Get
And
our
I'll
sidearms
command.
out.
I don't want anything to do with that.
With what?
Doesn't make sense.
Who are you?
Commander?
Yeah.
Commander, what are you doing? Commander, you can't be down here.
Who are you?
First Deck Lieutenant Bryce. I came down here because he wanted me to.
Who?
Have you seen him along the way?
Who?
I forget. He was so innocent. He sighs. He's running around. You have to help him. I did. He told me about the reactor. He said that it needs to be touched. It needs to be interacted with. So I threw a wrench into the reactor.
Are you the one who's been stealing the tools?
I only took the wrench.
Do you know who's been taking the other stuff?
Come here, I'll show you.
All right, so I walk closer.
All right, roll it.
Bryce, what the hell are you playing at?
And the reactor is just shaking wildly.
I have a 6.
Nice.
Okay, so as you start heading towards the reactor, you can see that there's things sticking out of it. Yeah, the wrench is like, twisted around. There's like different components that should be working smoothly, but it's like they're grinding on something. And that's why every now and then it seizes, and smoke is pouring out, and just it cuts out into the blackness, and you can just see a small, like, glowing. It looks like a uniform, like the reflector bits are taking in light. And is it Bryce or is it a uniform? It doesn't look like it's moving, but the lights are out.
you there, identify yourself.
Nothing.
Oh my god, alright, we gotta get this thing back on its feet. I don't know if you guys know much about nukes, but they don't really like having wrenches thrown in the middle of them. and I'm not even an engineer.
Do you guys think that this might be what's causing the ship to malfunction? I don't know a whole lot about all this technology stuff.
It's certainly causing some issues.
Not helping.
From like a different spot. If you guys are approaching Bryce, you hear Bryce's voice like, Commander, is this a drill? The sun hasn't come up in 10 days.
No, this isn't a drill, Bryce.
Are we in some sort of experiment?
Bryce, I need you to tell me something. If I was able to, draw you out of this reactor right now, how loyal would you be to me?
Commander, we all took our oaths. We're all loyal.
I'm asking Bryce, though, the one in the reactor.
Come over here.
All right. I need you to tell me
It's like in
something.
the opposite direction now.
I want to take a light out of my apron.
Roll for it.
All right. Yeah, I'll leave that 6 there.
Yeah.
Lost one. All right, so start shining my light around. Bryce.
You can see that like the suits that you've been seeing reflecting in the lights. They're all empty. They're all just hanging or like draped up against like an open closet or whatever. You can see that some of these closets have like dents in them. Totally not of a military grade ship. This is like heavy duty dents.
Yeah.
Like not even punches. Like the whole structure is completely twisted in on itself, and you can see that there's grease, some sort of ichor, like pooling around the base of it.
Around the base of the reactor? Or?
No, of these closets.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Rex, stay away from that. I don't know what that is, and I know every substance down in the organs of this ship.
Yeah, well, you recognize any of the names on the uniforms? I don't know these guys.
These are my guys. This is my team. Where's my team?
Do I still see Bryce?
You've never seen him. You've only heard him.
Or the outline of the... Was there...
Yeah, we haven't spotted them.
No.
spotted him?
Yeah. And you hear like, they're with him. Your team's with him. Find him.
All right, I don't know what we're... Do we want to try and fix this thing, Steve?
what is
Shine-
this
shine
grease?
this light.
While they're bickering as brothers, I go and I like grab the grease.
All right, roll for
And
it.
I want to see what it does. I have a 6.
Okay.
So I grab the grease and it starts like sort of
Warm. It's very warm.
All right, and at first I like draw my hand away because I think it's gonna burn me, and then I go back and I rest my palm against the grease in the closets, and as I'm touching the closet, it's like the warmth of the grease sort of melts against my palm and into whatever the metal is of the closet, and I'm suddenly inside of the closet. Yeah, like my hand is inside of the closet, and then I start reaching around, and I feel.
All right, roll for it.
Six. All right. And as I'm reaching around in there, I feel maybe like a cloth, but it's a cloth that's covering something. It's a cloth covering maybe metal. So I try really hard to pull against the door and see if I can pull my hand out of the closet.
Roll for it.
Two 6s.
And so while the commander's off doing something, we've just been like,
Rex, shine that light over here. I can't see what I'm doing.
what are you doing?
Just a little higher, a little higher.
All right, come on.
Yes, Steve is looking at the misplaced components, trying to pull the wrench out of the works, doing whatever he can to try
Go
and
for it.
nervously repair this reactor, or at least get it quasi-functioning. 2 6s and a 1. So after a lot of banging and clanging around and yelling at Rex to shine the light where the light's supposed to be, there's the familiar hum as the reactor comes back only at 50% capacity.
All right, that's something. I knew you didn't have all the bad genes.
As the reactor comes on, suddenly my hand pulls out of the whatever the metal is, and I have a wrench in my hand. And on the front of the wrench it says Lieutenant Bryce on the front. And I'm like, Bryce, can you hear me? Bryce,
Roll
I found
for
the
it.
wrench. Ooh, 1.
Okay, so in this moment, your virtue or vice is not active. Your moment is where you find hope. So you can choose to use your moment. We seem to be heading. We have to somehow get towards your being awarded or stealing a badge of honor, perhaps. If you were to. Well, I guess we're trying to re-roll. I'm trying to get you to re-roll this one. Perhaps we can offer it to your companions here to help you out. If you were to burn your virtue or vice, you would re-roll that 1, potentially gaining a 6. But otherwise, at this point, no 6s have been rolled. You are unsuccessful. A candle will darken, and the scene will end. We always have the option. You could choose to extinguish a candle to gain narrative control. But if you choose to accept this failure, I will narrate what happens. We will darken a candle and a new scene will begin.
I'm okay.
Should
I'm okay.
I'm just giving you the options. I assume you're gonna.
I'm gonna hold off.
Okay. So we've failed this moment here. As you're holding up this wrench with Lieutenant Bryce, first deck lieutenant, you see that the wrench has residue over it, like the reactor and all of its exhausts and everything that has been functioning appropriately or disproportionately is covering this wrench. You pulled it out of this locker, you managed to pull it out, but how it got here and where exactly you pulled it out from behind the cloth, it's almost as if you pulled this out of the reactor. And by pulling it out, perhaps simultaneously with Steven fixing the reactor, do you feel that there's a sense of purpose in this wrench? Like it's meant to be somewhere inappropriate, like it's meant to be in a destructive form, either in the reactor, in a skull, in a broken glass window, like it's supposed to be, it's like tainted with this essence of corruption. And so we will extinguish a candle. The scene ends. These things are true. The world is dark. Now we will establish truths, 9 truths going around the table. Simple phrases that we will now establish the new scene with. It can be in a different part of the ship. It can be something that we held true and we will go around and around. I will add to it as well. The last one, so we'll have 8 of them. The 9th one, we will say in unison, and we are alive, because that is still a truth. So, Commander Giblet, what is the first truth?
The first truth is that there are captives on this ship that can help us figure out who they are.
Stephen?
The second truth is that other than potentially Bryce and Steven, the entire rest of the maintenance crew is missing.
You all are starving. Even though you had your sound, starving. Like you feel like a gnawing pain grow within you.
The propulsion system is working again, and the ship is underway.
The general of this ship is going to die within the next 2 scenes.
While some systems are operating, radar and electronic communications are still down.
Propulsion's activated. The there's not enough crew to navigate directly to where you want to go. You're number 8.
I have been able to lock the kitchen down so that it is just under my control and that of an immediate couple trusted crew members.
And 9, and we are alive. The pool refills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and now I have 1 die. What are you guys doing? You're starving, you're gnawing, the kitchen has been locked down, the systems are activated, but there's not enough crew to run things effectively and efficiently.
Do I still have the wrench?
You have the wrench.
Okay.
All right, well, Stephen is starving, and being familiar with the kitchen, he's going to try to sneak in and steal some food. Whatever he can find. While not attracting any attention from
I hear, yeah.
half-brother or the rest of the crew. I see a 6 and 1 1.
Okay.
All right.
1 6.
So yeah, Rex is cooking, trying to at least, feed whoever, but certainly himself. And, he's got a couple of his sous chefs or whatever. They're just cooking and wandering around the kitchen, looking around.
Yep, and timing the watchful eyes of the kitchen crew. Stephen sneaks past and is able to swipe a couple of MREs from a locker, tuck them into his jumpsuit, and starts making his way out the door.
Roll for it.
Oof. 3 1s, 2 6s.
There's a one
There. All right, so
So you continue?
Yeah, so Stephen walks out the door and then immediately walks back in as if he's entering for the first time. Hey Rex, you got anything to eat in here?
Rex is just staring at him. What the hell do you want, you rat? Food's on the counter. You can ask for it. And he kind of waves him over to the measly helping of like 1 bowl of food, kind of watched over by a little scrawny, I don't know, seaman or whatever the hell they call him, the sailor.
So maybe I'm actually not as hungry as I thought. He kind of turns his nose up at the food. How you holding up, Rex?
Not good. I need to get out of this kitchen. I'm going up on the flight deck.
Yeah, you know what? I could use a stroll.
All right, you hold it down, you clowns. So he kind of heads out and up to the flight deck.
Roll for it.
Those. Thank you. Okay.
If you want to re-roll your virtue or vice to re-roll these, to keep them.
Sure. So, what do I say? Do I say anything about it, or?
Yeah, go ahead. You'll work it into the scene. You've already got narrative control, but...
So, Rex is a very, he would call himself a lone wolf. He, does things by himself, for himself, as he wants, how he wants, and when he wants. So here he's like, you know what? I'm done with these clowns in the kitchen here. Everybody's coming, trying to get my food, get my supplies. Fuck it. I'm going upstairs, gonna get some fresh air on the deck.
And what's this?
So that is my virtue / vice. You could argue it's both.
And what was it?
Of being a lone wolf.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you've gone off alone by yourself, heading up to the flight deck.
So I re-roll the ones.
Go ahead, yeah. Let's see if there's still ones.
Oh, lost one. Okay. So, all right, we're heading up to the flight deck, and hey, isn't that old Giblets over there? What the hell's he doing up here on the deck?
Black, completely black. No stars in the sky. Can't see it.
We got some lights now from the.
It's still
ship.
black.
Yeah.
But it's like beyond it, you're like a city on the water, so to speak. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But this is horrific. Like, it's been like this for days, and you've been trying to get to shore, and luckily you've managed to turn on the reactors, but now food is coming scarce. Your MREs are holding true, but there's not much left, and getting to shore would be potentially the way to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, isn't that old Giblets over there looking off the edge? What the hell's he doing?
I don't know, but they're over there near the recon plane, which makes me a little nervous.
You left that thing on the deck?
Where else is it gonna go?
Down below? Where the fucking planes sit?
You know, the reactor only powers so much, Rex.
Alright, well, let's go see what this guy's up to. I'm gonna go over and see Giblets.
All right, so I'm looking at this recon. No.
Roll for it.
Oh,
Alright. No 6.
So you have and no moments as well too, so not even ones.
Oh, so we can't use the hope moment?
So we're gonna have to drive towards a moment of hope, and if you were to make that successful, you would gain a hope dice.
Oh, I see. Well, so mine was restart the mess kitchen, so we did get the kitchen back online. Does that not count?
We'd have to make that a moment.
Oh, I see. We have to go and like actively do it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And succeed at a challenge at it.
I see, okay. Well, I don't know.
I have one that I could do.
Okay.
Yeah. So mine's I will find hope in earning a badge of bravery or stealing one.
Okay.
So I look at this reconnaissance plane, and it is called bravery. That's like what the marking that's engraved on the side of it. And I think I know how I learned how to fly planes in military training, and I feel like my only hope is getting off to shore, but you know, I gotta go this alone, because if I take anyone with me, they're gonna find out that I stole this plane, and you know, I may lose any shot of moving up in the military when I make this out alive. I'm gonna get blackballed. So I get into this, the only way that the only issue is that there seems to be like a bolt that's preventing me from getting in to the hull of the plane. So I have this wrench from that I found in the locker below, and I'm like, well, I wonder if this will work to help me get into the hull of the plane, or the hull of the plane to fly it. So I try to unbolt it, and it works. I hear a creak, and I'm able to step into the.
All right. So currently these 4 dice haven't succeeded on what has been happening here. Go ahead, re-roll these 4 dice. If you succeed, you will pass this moment of hope, and you will gain a hope die,
Okay.
which you can re-roll to try. Which you can roll to try to save that failure.
Okay. So I roll this. No. Okay.
Okay, so your moment isn't even a failure. A hope die is not added to the pool. Give me your moment. Your moment is a failure. So you use this wrench, and you start trying to turn the bolt, and it snaps, and the bolt has wrecked passage into this ship. You have that moment right in front of you with this airline bravery that could be the way out, but you can't even access it, and the bolt has been broken, and it's made out of military grade materials that if you were to try to smash this window, it would not be possible. This access point, this bolt, this one entry point with this wrench could have been the way, but the way the bolt is snapped off, you can't even gain it. You can't even put a key in it. You can't utilize this component that would allow you access to bravery. So you haven't gained it. The scene comes to an end. You extinguish the candle, and now these things that are true. The world is dark. So we'll start with you again. We'll start actually with Errol, since we tried to do the moment and it failed, and your moment has burned past.
So people are rioting outside the mess halls trying to get food, and we're rationing it.
They saw me trying to break into the ship, into the plane.
Bryce is alive, but he's not talking to anyone.
The crew is on edge. The food that they're eating does not satiate their hunger.
I have a GPS system that I brought with me. Just a personal one as a kind of hobby. But right now, I can't turn it on.
There is on the ship rations of food enough for one person for 24 hours.
Bryce's real wrench is in Steven's locker.
And we are alive. So we will refill the pool. And that has 2 dice. So that you're there, the crew is getting hungry and angry, and they're on edge. Bryce is there. He's not speaking. He's zoned out. His eyes are bulging, sweaty. It looks like he's starving, emaciated. It's been forever since he's eaten, despite the food that seemingly was here. Is the shore close? You can't even see beyond the small radius of the light that the ship has been emitting. Things are just getting harder and harder as the plane itself isn't even accessible anymore. And you all saw the commander, from roast beef to trying to get into the plane. What's going on here? What do you do?
Steven's gonna sit next to Bryce. Hey, Bryce. Funny thing about that wrench that the commander found. Looks mighty similar to a wrench that I have in my locker. Which has me thinking. If there's a duplicate wrench, maybe you're not Bryce. Under the table.
What, do you have a gun? Roll for it.
I see a 1 and I see
Nope.
6. What do you say, Brycey boy?
His eyes are bulging. It looks like he's trying to speak, but he can't.
You got something in your throat there. Cat got your tongue?
And he just grabs your arm, like your forearm. He just squeezes it.
If you're Bryce, let go of my arm.
And just squeezing harder and harder and harder. And just one finger comes off. The second finger comes off. But he's still gripping hard.
You got 3 seconds, Bryce. 2 seconds, Bryce.
Roll for it. Two ones here. If you want to use your virtue or vice to save him.
Got a 6 there. 6s there has to be more 6s than 1s. Is that the...
No. It's just you'll lose them out of the pool, and I don't have any 6s either. So.
Yeah, you know what? While this is going on...
What's it? Are you using it?
Yeah, I'm gonna use it.
What is it?
It is Steven's sticky fingers quality. So while this entire thing is going down, this tense moment, Steven's nature is also getting the better of him. And the meager remains of Bryce's food in the bowl, he's picking at. Literally sticky fingers, I guess. I don't know.
All right.
Okay, and what happens? His fingers, tell me.
So, Bryce manages to lift the last finger. That's what I thought, Bryce. I'm glad you're here. But that doesn't solve our problem. Something is clearly wrong with you. Did you write it?
He starts motioning, he's like pointing down and like outside of the mess hall.
We need to go? All right.
He's pointing to Rex and Commander.
All right. Hey, gang. Bryce has something he wants to share with us. Let's, maybe go out the side door here so we don't attract any unwanted attention from the rest of the crew.
Hang on a sec. So, can I use this hope at any time?
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to pass it.
Should I try and do this now? Seems like a good chance.
Go for it.
Here.
Yeah, you'll unlock your...
All right, so hang on a sec. We got to secure this place because whatever's left of the crew is going hog wild out there.
They're rabbling, or they're hungry. You can see that their plates are empty and stuff. This would be the moment to
lock this place down.
to at least quell the barking dogs.
All right, so we're gonna try and restart this kitchen here. So
All right, roll it.
Roll them all.
You can roll them all. You got to pass it,
right.
and by using your virtue, you got more dice. You got a better chance to.
Oof.
Oh, 2 1s and not even a 6. So this is a failure. Well, give it up. This moment is a failure. Do you choose to accept this? You can extinguish a candle to gain narrative control. Otherwise, I've got it. Otherwise,
Well, he still has control for his moment, right? Or no? Is this overwritten?
you guys were attempting to go to the...
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
He didn't roll. Yeah, he didn't roll. For
Right.
It, Okay. Candle out.
So that this will end the scene. I will narrate. So as...
Wait, no, he didn't decide. We're
Well, right.
deciding. Do we
Oh.
want to put a candle out?
To continue the
know what?
narration, yeah, for
Continue
this
the
moment.
moment. To continue the scene.
I kind of want to see where this goes.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
sure.
Let's pull one out.
So you guys want to elect to extinguish a candle to
Continue the scene.
Right.
you'll at least the scene will end, but you'll determine how it ends. Otherwise, I will determine how it ends.
Oh, I see.
Because the candle's gonna go out. You failed it. We're determining if you want to choose to elect it to
So instead of 1 candle, 2 would go out?
Right.
I see.
Does that make a difference?
Yeah.
It does. Because you get to decide how this moment ends with you trying to start the kitchen.
And then we have fewer truths, too.
I don't see a big difference. I think we can just let it end. I thought it
Yeah.
would let us continue the scene, but if it doesn't, then
no,
forget it.
Yeah.
There's no point.
Okay, cool. Then we'll see where it
What you're
ends.
deciding is if you get to decide what happens.
Yeah, but I don't see a big difference.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Cool. Yeah.
As you start to fire up this kitchen, you're putting what components of ingredients that you have left, and everything seems to try to coalesce in a beautiful meal, but instead you just have that ooze, that ichor, like as you're cooking, the food just like bubbles into that grease that was down in the reactor. And all the food that you've served to everyone's plates and stuff, just, and you can see they're like eating it, thinking that it's food, and, and they just have like this grease and ooze just trailing down 30, 40, 50 men that just on the ship, just, and all this ooze just washing over their chins and their lips and their tongues, and it's like you can see that some of them are like their spoons, their metal spoons, just like going through their chins, like they don't even recognize that like this ooze is having that strange transformative power, and it's just covering their hands and it's dripping on their feet, and clearly the moment's a failure and has turned into something far more twisted. These things are true. The world is dark. So Errol, go ahead, start us off.
The ship has run aground on a rocky shoreline. a rocky northern shoreline.
Nice.
There is a way to bring back like the consciousness to people who are sort of taken over by whatever this ooze is and bring them back to themselves.
Overnight, a number of the crew, not necessarily those who ate this substance, have also gone missing, leaving the ship with a skeleton crew.
The ooze eaters claim they've heard a little boy.
The flight deck of the ship has the collision has been such that the flight deck allows us to walk onto the land, essentially climb, clamber on the rocks and get onto the land.
The little boy is not on the land, he is on the ship.
And we are alive. The pool resets. What do? The ship has run aground. The flight equipment, what did you say? There's a passage onto the land
So
because
the flight deck, the top surface of the carrier has, basically,
It's level with the ground.
it just overhangs the ship, right? So it's crashed into the shore, making things go amok, but the ship can't really sink. It's in shallow water, and so it's kind of just
more crew have gone missing. The ooze eaters. Have you heard about? I heard this boy. I don't know what's going on. And you can see that like they're wandering about looking for this kid, and they try. They open their doors and like their oozy hands go through the metal. Some of them are looking through the glass and like their face just goes through like the metal part of the glass or whatever, and like they're just like they don't recognize any of this, but you three of you see this like what's going on here?
Well, you know what they say? A rat flees a sinking ship. I'm getting out of here.
We gotta figure out what's going on with this ooze stuff, though. I mean, look how powerful it is. Clearly, you can, control people's minds with it.
Hey, there's a pot of it on the stove. Help yourself, Cap. I'm out of here.
Given that we're not going anywhere for a while, I'm gonna reroute the power from the propulsion system to try and bring some more electricity back to the rest of the ship. One six. Ones. And the lights flicker, and although more sections of the ship now have light, the light overall is dimmer than in the concentrated areas it was before. Feeling satisfied with this result, Steve will join Rex.
Is that your moment?
No.
Okay. All right, so you're rotting some of this power.
All right, so Rex is just like, nah, the hell with this, man, grumbling to himself. His kitchen crew's either gone missing or they're gelatinous people now, whatever. He's like, I have seen nothing crazier than this, and I want nothing more to do with it. So he's getting ready, he's getting his stuff. Should I roll for that?
Yep.
All right.
Gonna need 3 6s.
Wah, wah. Nope,
Not even 1 6.
no 6.
Okay, so that's doubly unsuccessful. Do you accept this?
Is there
Yeah.
anything we can do about it?
You have a virtue or a vice that could re-roll some of those ones.
I could try.
So
Yeah.
if we don't get 3
And your
sixes-
brink is available too.
Right, so how does that work again?
So your brink will allow you to re-roll the whole pool.
Okay,
And if it's successful, you keep your brink.
okay.
Yeah, I could try something.
Mm-hmm.
So my vice is selfishness. So I'm like, you know what? To hell with it. I also want off of this ship because there's nothing. I'm not gonna survive. Like I think I have a better chance. It's me or if I, it's every man for himself at this point. And I remember before that when the gelatinous substance touches the wrench that I still have on my person, I am able to sort of go through this like metallic, through the metallic parts of the ship. So even though the cook is struggling to get out of the ship through whatever entrance he's using, I think that there might be another way onto the platform and a way to escape onto the mainland.
Roll those 2 dice. 6. You guys keep it alive.
So, as the cook is sort of struggling to...
Okay, wait, so the scene's still alive, but I have 2 6s.
Oh, okay.
So you're successful, but I'm going to narrate
okay.
what's happening. So as you are now, you're like sliding through each of these walls with this ooze wrench that allows you to gain some sort of passage, and you make your way into the comm station, and there's like video of all the cameras around on the ship, and you can see that in one of the videos there's a little boy, and he's wearing a little brown button up, and he's got these little blue shorts and like boat shoes on, completely out of place, and he's wandering through one of the hallways. And you can see on another video, like complete opposite end of the ship, that same little boy, like as one walks off the camera, the other one walks onto the TV, and you're like, and it's just like 5 minutes later, another video feed of this boy wandering around, and you can see him like interacting with one of the crew members, one of the non-ooze eaters. And at first, the person is gathering things and trying to get off this ship. We gotta go figure it. And then all of a sudden it's just like, there's no audio. And looks at this boy and is looking around, and then all of a sudden it's just like starts gesturing with the boy. The boy's like, and they both walk down one of the passageways, and then a video feed shows like further down the hallway, just the boy and the guy walking further down into the ship.
I'm in the command center of the ship, and I find the intercom button, and I start pressing the intercom button to see if I can try to communicate
Roll it.
with the boy.
No 6s, and I roll a 6. So your brinks are available. And yeah, you didn't get your hope. So this would allow you to re-roll the whole pool if you used your brink.
So how does that work? Do we read the brink out at someone or about ourselves?
This brink is your brink, your character's brink.
Okay.
It was written for you.
So we narrate it as like, you have seen me.
Yeah, exactly. You guys have seen me do this, and this will push the moment. I guess in this instance, though, only her brink would be allowed since she's trying to do this.
I see, yeah. Okay.
So in this pressing the intercom moment, if you choose to use your brink at this point, you'd be able to re-roll all this dice pool.
What do you guys think?
It's up to you.
Oh, it's up to me.
I'm letting you decide.
I think I can use this brink better elsewhere.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna pass it.
Okay. And look, a candle has gone out. How unfortunate. So that counts as well too, but seeing as how we're resolving this dice, we will push another candle down. This has progressed twice. 2 scenes ahead. The world is dark. These things are true. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 5 candles left. So we have 4 truths here. The GM gets all of those. Go ahead, Commander.
The truth is that the little boy
is in control of the things that are stealing things off the ship.
Stephen Rex did not find food during the excursion.
The ship is rapidly sinking.
The coast is no longer accessible.
And we are alive.
Alive.
Okay, so the ship is taking on water. Food hasn't been found. The ooze eaters are navigating. This boy is walking around in and out all of these sorts of areas. Wrench in hand, Bryce around and abound, trying to lead you to somewhere, to some further passageway in. Darkness beyond the ship, the shore indeterminate and slowly drifting away, perhaps inaccessible by every passing moment. It'd be quite the risk to try to get there. What do you do? This is off the ship. This is the moments that you've been trying to strive towards. Maybe there's more answers and solutions. Darkness has taken over. The ship is sinking. What do you do?
Commander, do you still have that gooey wrench?
I'm not getting rid of it.
Looks awful similar to this one I have from Bryce.
Wait, why do you have that one? Mine says Bryce on it.
Yeah, I'm a little confused about that myself. Funny thing though, I noticed that on Old Bravery there, someone tampered with the cockpit hatch. Can't be opened.
Yeah, I noticed the bolt was broken too. I don't know what happened to it.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I am sick and tired of these lies from everybody, and I'll get to you. But you, Cap, I saw it. We were on the deck. I saw you fucking around with that plane.
I was trying to get everybody off of it. I was trying to get everybody.
My ass you were. You broke it. You buy it.
What am I supposed to do? What do you want me to do?
I think we are all rapidly approaching borrowed time. So let's hold off on tossing the blame around. Think about that wrench. That thing lets you pass through metal, yeah?
Yeah, if there's goo on it. I don't know where all this goo is coming from, but
Do you think you could get into the cockpit?
I guess I could try, but I gotta tell you, I'm a little nervous about going down there. I should tell you about what I saw when I was in the cockpit.
What did you see?
There was video cameras, and I was using this wrench trying to get off the ship, and when I looked at the video camera, I just saw this boy. And he was on almost every single screen, and he was talking to members of the ship, and they were responding, but then he would just he was everywhere. On all the different screens. It was like a boy dressed in shipman's clothes. And I'm worried that if I go back to the cockpit, I'm gonna run into him. There was something I didn't like about that kid.
Well, wait a minute. You mean you were in the security room, right? The ship security?
Yeah, I don't know.
And you're,
I'm,
what are you
I'm talking
about?
the cockpit of the reconnaissance plane.
The recon plane? That's good thinking. Does it work? Does the plane work?
So, here's the thing. That wrench can pass through metal. If you can pass through metal, maybe we don't have to get through that bolt. Maybe you can just go into the cockpit, and I can try and fix the engines using that wrench.
All right, but what if that boy's there? I don't know. That guy made me. He creeped me out.
Where's your weapon? Don't you have a weapon?
Just my strong voice and this wrench.
The ship lurches.
Look, we gotta get the hell out of here, and we can't climb off anymore because we've been dicking around on this.
All right, fine, let's do it. But I'm telling you, I'll try it. But if we see that kid, I'm out.
All right.
Let's fly, compadre.
All right, I'll push the ladder over so that you have access to the
Roll it.
cockpit area. Got 1, 2, 3 6s.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, so yeah, push that ladder over, and the commander's able to walk up and pass through into the cockpit.
Roll it.
Do I roll it?
Yep.
You roll.
Come on, Commander.
There you go.
I got 1 6 and a 1 here.
Okay, you got the 6. I got no 6s.
All right.
All right, you pass in.
All right, so I'm in the cockpit, and all the lights. I do the simple thing, and I look to turn on the switch.
Roll it.
Okay, sorry.
I was too short.
Reach for it.
Oh no.
Two
A 1
ones.
6.
2 1s. But you got a 6.
Alright. So I try to flip the switch, and the entire switchboard comes on, and suddenly I have access to a plane.
Excellent. While this is going on, Steve is going to use the wrench to get into that tight space.
Roll it.
And let's see if we can get that Titans down to start up the engines.
No
Those
6s.
6s.
This one's on top of the stack.
Got it. But that's my hope. Which I'm trying to enact right now, unsuccessfully as a scene.
Okay, so go ahead. Try to enact it. This is what. Yeah. What was that? Your moment?
That
I guess
was the moment.
That was the
to get-
moment.
to get
And
the
you failed it.
engines.
So
Yeah.
this is burned. This is gone. No hope has been gained by any of you today, as you have tried your best to constantly fix this whole thing. So the moment is no more.
Am I able to use this?
You could possibly save the scene. You'll re-roll those 2 dice if you want to use your brink. Otherwise, it's the end of the scene.
And we are hopeless.
I'm gonna end it.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
keep it moving.
All right.
As you try to fix the engine of the plane, that's what you're trying to do, the wrench just passes into the system and just like twist in the gears itself. Something about it, something that this wrench could not pass through, some titanium, some sort of metal, some military grade, and the whole thing just, you can pulls in your arm and just starts twisting your arm, and just bones just, and then your whole arm is just wrenched and twisted, and bleeding flesh just crawling, dripping off of where your elbow is. The whole surface of the ship just hears this cry from this plane as the scene ends. These things are true. The world is dark. 3 truths.
Rex had to amputate my arm from the elbow down with a cleaver from the kitchen.
The ship is almost completely submerged.
But we are on a lifeboat. And I don't know if you can picture modern lifeboats, but they're a little bit of they look like a submarine. That just kind of sits on the water.
The last one, and we are alive. Pool fills up to 4. You guys have 4. What are you doing? You're on this little submersible. Some of the crew members.
Well, it's not submarine, it's just a lifeboat, but they're like...
But is there multiple rooms, or is it like a one dinghy thing?
Have you ever seen Captain Phillips?
Let's just say it has maybe.
It's like a little...
It's the boat from Jaws. So there's like a sub compartment and like a top level.
Not even. It's literally like imagine a small
It's a small boat.
room.
Gotcha.
It's just a closed up room that just sits on the sea.
So the ship, is sinking. There's very little of it poking out. You're in this life raft. His arm is amputated. It's bleeding out. It's, at least held at bay, maybe cauterized of some sorts, but you're in this small submersible with the remaining light of the ship slowly tossing illumination towards the edges of the shore that is slowly recessing back into the darkness.
Wait, what's going on with your arm? That's a lot of blood, but it doesn't really look like blood. It looks like it's oozing.
Well, that's strange. I just want to know what's up with that boy here with us.
Oh, damn.
What boy?
Next to you, Rex, the boy.
Roll for it. Rex.
Nope.
No success.
But I'm gonna use my brink. So you have seen me abandon you. 3?
All of them, if you choose. What's...
So
Try it. We'll see what happens first.
okay.
1 success.
Do I give you these?
All the ones, yep.
Okay.
So you're pushed to the limit.
So they've seen me abandon them before, or us, whoever.
In this
us
moment,
is.
right now.
Oh, now.
Right. Mhm.
Oh, it's not in the past.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. So, jolted by this,
Right.
Statement that there's a kid, I, rush to the hatch, and whip around with my gun, pointing wildly around the room. What kid? Where's the kid? Where? I don't see the kid. Is there a kid? Kid.
He's right there. He's right there. Right next to you. Don't you see
Is he
him?
following me around?
What's he wearing?
Brown and blue.
Like a shipman's?
And you just hear, "Are you my daddy?"
Who hears that?
Everyone.
I told you guys. Where is he? And I take the wrench out and I try to wildly fling it around, trying to hit the.
Roll for it. Yeah, you win it.
Nice.
Wow. All right, what happens?
So I'm slinging this wrench around, and all of a sudden I hear boom, and I hit something. And then suddenly I hear the same voice. It's like, the voice of the little kid. I hit the kid.
No. Where is it?
I don't know, it was right there. I just.
Commander,
Giblet, where is it? Is it on you?
why would you do that,
I
Commander?
thought you were my daddy. I thought you were my daddy.
I don't know. Who is that? Wait,
Why did you do that? There's a little boy there bleeding.
He's crying, Commander.
what do you see?
I thought you were my dad. Why are you
Oh, I
not
don't
my
like this. This is too
daddy?
weird, and I whack him as well. with
Try it.
that.
Roll it. I have 1 6. Okay, so the scene's a success, but I have 1. Ties go to the gym. You swing it, and you're just whacking the boy. What do you do?
I'm bleeding.
What do you all do?
No, I try to take him out too with the wrench,
Roll
'cause
it.
he's like.
I rolled 2 6s.
Oh no.
And you keep going for Steven Selig, your little league friend there, but you were never a batter, you were a pitcher. And trying to use this wrench, is it the wrench that's guiding you? Your sights are set on this little boy and just. And the boy's still crying hard. It's not even blood, it's ooze. You keep coming back up with the wrench and it's just black.
I try really hard to let go of the wrench and let it, and now I'm freaked out that I have no control over my own arms. I seem like I'm doing it on the will of the wrench and not my own accord, and I try to let go of the wrench.
Roll for it. What are you guys doing?
So I'm backed in the corner, and I rummage around in the supply closet, looking for a life jacket.
And you go to throw the wrench. I rolled 2 6s. You go to throw the wrench, and you won't let it go. You can see that it's like covered in ooze, and it's covering your hand, and it just feels right. Roll for it. You're searching for equipment. What'd you get?
No dice. 1 or 4.
Brinks?
Oh yeah. I'm trying to abandon this bad boy.
Okay.
I'm getting out. I have to get out. All right.
Wow, you did it.
So I
Got
get the
6.
life jacket on, grab the life jacket, and I climb onto
Oh, wait.
the...
But
Oh,
I rolled a 6 as
Oh,
well.
okay.
So the scene's a success. I have narrative control. You're searching for things, and you find a whole cache of wrenches.
Jesus fucking Christ, where are the fucking life jackets on this boat? 57 wrenches and not a life jacket in sight, and I'm just throwing the wrenches around.
Roll for it. Need 2 6s.
Oof. Nope.
Brink? Any?
I've got
Yeah.
Brink?
I've got a brink. I'm gonna wait.
You accept that? Or are you gonna use your brink?
Yeah, so I'm just like thrashing around in these wrenches, searching and searching.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're gonna accept the failure?
Yep.
Okay. That which is true, the world is dark. 3 truths, so 2. Errol, go ahead.
The lifeboat has drifted into a sandbar, and I think I can make out a lighthouse there.
Last one. And we are alive. Oh, I'm sorry. Go. You're up. Yeah, you're right. I jumped ahead.
The wrenches that were on the boat, or in the submarine, I was able to grab a second one despite me being sort of out of it.
And now the last one. And
We are alive.
What do? You see a lighthouse up ahead. The commander, wrench, crazy. The boy, a pulp, but holding on to some semblance of life, as you can imagine. Stephen Selig, missing an arm, bleeding, abandoned by Rex. Doesn't want any more of this. What do you do?
I try to use the arm that's holding the wrench that is not hitting the boy, so the new wrench, and I try to throw it at the escaped cook in order to try to get him to stop and stay in the submarine. Or is he
Okay.
gone? Are you gone already?
I don't know. Do I have choices on that, or
Well, would you be gone?
I'd be making
be
my
gone,
way. I'm not gone. Like I'm here, but I'm
Head toward the lighthouse.
yeah, I'm like splashing through the water on the. There's a sandbar kind of, and I can see, dimly. There's a big structure there on the coast, right? So lighthouse. I gotta make it to the lighthouse. That's where there's light. They've got food. They've got everything there. They've got a generator. They got a radio. I'm going there. That's where I'm gonna be. And you just hear me like muttering, fucking got wrenches in the boat.
A wrench comes at you, I guess. Keep going. What do you want to do with that?
I try to throw the wrench at him in order to get him to stop because I want his gun.
Keep going. No, I'm not asking for a roll. Keep going.
And I throw this wrench and it sort of spins and it hits his head. So he becomes he basically goes unconscious and he's floating in the water. And I'm like, okay, this is my chance. I need to get that gun because at the same time, all I want to do is go back. I'm doing this and it's taking every bone in my body to pull away from this boy in order to go and grab this gun. And I really think this gun is going to be the only thing that separates me from this wrench that is calling me back to hitting the boy.
So you guys are scuffling, and Steven over here is just left. Are you okay? message from the bloody Pope.
Did he hurt you, boy?
Everyone was so nice. I could make it better. You know that. Look at your arm is better. Roll for it.
One
Okay.
six.
Yep.
Nice.
I got 2. And you can see that the ooze has made a spike. And it's exactly what you feel is right.
They hurt you. Rex's dad hurt me as a boy. He abandoned me then too. Do you seek justice?
I see my daddy.
I'll be back. And I go after the commander and Rex with my spike.
What are you guys doing?
He's floating, and I've managed to pull the gun out of the holster that it was in. And I now have this gun, and I'm like, okay,
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, what are you doing with that?
I gotta go back. This wrench is pulling me back. I only got one direction to go, and so I go back into the submarine.
I'm gonna grab the wrench on the ground there and just start, ooh, all right, from this madhouse. They can have their kid and their wrenches. I got my wrench now. We're all on an even keel here, baby. And, struggling to the lighthouse. Just, whew.
They're all for it.
Oh. All right, well, gonna use my brink.
Okay. I have a 6.
Oh, got the unlucky hands.
As you struggle to the lighthouse, you make it there, but you see that it's just filled with ooze. Like the light that's spinning around isn't projecting any light whatsoever. It's just, and it's trickling down, and there's people there, lighthouse tender and his wife, and they're just, you can't even make out a human shape. You can just see legs underneath a pile of this like ooze that just covers and drips from their head.
What? No. They gotta have a. Oh, they gotta have a signal flare. They gotta have a radio. They gotta have a generator. So all right, I'm looking through the.
So that's a failure, right? That's the end of the
Oh,
scene.
right. Yep.
These things are true. The world is dark. One truth, so Errol, go ahead. You have 2 truths. We all know what the last one is.
No, I had the first one last time, so let's give it to them.
Brandon.
Rex is at the top of the lighthouse.
And we are alive. Rex is at the top of the lighthouse. There's the lighthouse tenders covered in ooze. Rex is at the top of the lighthouse. He made it to the top of the lighthouse, and he can oversee the remainder of the little lifeboat and what's left of his compatriots, his fellow shipmates. And you can see that the boy has vanished. And all that is left is Stephen and the commander. And Stephen's not in his right mind. Nor is the commander.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Rex can see that.
Mhm.
Shit, my luck, I get left with these 2. Okay, where's a flare? Where's the flare? I need the flare gun. So I'm gonna go looking, rummaging. They got, the top of the lighthouse, a small room. There's a chest. Opening the chest. Oh, here we go. Yeah, here we go. Oh, they gotta have. Okay. Again, it's a big, brass flare gun. It's got a big opening. I don't know, whatever. 40mm type opening and crack the back open, rummage through the flares, grab a fistful of flares, and shove one in the gun. Hey, you fuckers, you want to come and get me? I'm not going down without a fight. Oh, my head. It's the survival of the fittest, baby.
Fire, or roll it.
All right, so I aim the gun down at the beach.
Got two sixes.
Nope.
And as you fire, it's like webs of this black ichor, and they just coalesce in like a beaded bridge of sorts, like just cascading down. And what you expected to be fireworks has just become this bridge for the commander, for Steven, some sort of access. But that is our scene. That which is true. The world is dark. And we are alive. This is the final showdown. At this point, with one candle lit, anytime we roll, if it's unsuccessful, that is the untimely end of your character. What do? Rex is at the top of the lighthouse. There's this ooze ichor bridge creating this passageway up. Steven has his spike and the commander's filled with rage with his Bryce wrench. What do?
Steven charges Rex, screaming, "You will never abandon me again!" and stabs with his spike end.
Roll it.
Go for it.
It's one.
One, yeah, just one. So what happens? Describe it.
Screaming incomprehensibly, Steven charges at Rex, and Rex times it perfectly to duck and elevate and send Steven toppling over the edge of the lighthouse, plummeting down to the rocks below.
What do you guys do?
And, well, Rex just, after this happens, he stands up and just screams at him down on the beach. Screams at his body.
Commander, you see this? Rex at the top toppling his own brother who ran at him with a spike. He's clearly overpowered and armed, but Rex has managed to hold his ground and throw his own brother to the end.
In an attempt to seize power, as always, the commander thinks to himself, gosh, there must be something at the top of that lighthouse that they were fighting over. Something strange, something powerful. And I can feel the wrenches in my pocket and the gun that I stole from Rex sort of rattling in my pocket. And so I take out both wrenches, and instead of climbing the staircase up the lighthouse, they ooze into the side of the lighthouse, and the wrenches carry me up to the top floor, and where I'm standing behind Rex. And I see on the floor around him all of these wrenches that are covered in ooze.
What do, Rex?
I'm standing there screaming until I'm hoarse. And as I'm coughing and I fall back, still head bleeding from this wound of the thrown wrench. No, you piece of shit. You were never nothing. That's why we left you to fucking die, and you followed me to the... Just rasping to myself incoherently.
And as he's rasping to himself, I see the wrenches around him sort of rattling, almost saying to the commander, if you get rid of him, that's it. You will be our leader. There's no one else.
I'm gonna throw a curveball here. Go ahead, you two roll off. Let's see. Go ahead, roll that, Nicole, that one. The winner is the highest. Okay, so you fail. Rex, go ahead, narrate what happens.
So I reach out. I know I have the wrenches, but something tells me that I no longer need the wrenches, that the ooze is just coming out of me. And I feel connected to Rex, but in a demonic sort of way. So I reach out and I grab Rex, and I can feel the ooze coming from his injured arm, sort of oozing on top of mine, and suddenly we are just a ball of ooze between our arms. One arm is ooze, the other, I reach for a wrench and I try to knock Rex out.
You do. He failed the roll, so you keep going.
Okay. So I knock Rex out. He's unconscious.
Oh, worse than that. He's gone.
Okay. So Rex is gone. And I look around and all the wrenches, they start rising and then they dissipate.
Roll it. Four. The wrenches rise up and they start like latching into one another, and they form this weird geometric pattern, and they just form this like circle within it, and a ooze portal like opens up, starts swirling, and you can see the commander sees a reflection of himself, but the reflection is just slowly melting over time. And the captain, from your perspective, you can see the ship that has sunken into the water, and you can see there's all those ooze soldiers that have just been completely overcome, and you see that your quest for power has reached this end in which these are your new soldiers. These are the ones that will help you further and bring this darkness, and those that stood in your way no longer serve your needs, and you just feel the need to just walk forward. The portal and the wrenches that have formed this shape are floating out from outside the lighthouse. And there at the edge, the cliff that stands before you doesn't even register in your peripheral vision. You just see, I will cross through that portal, and I will be the new commander of this army that is larger than anything I could have ever controlled. And the world goes dark. That ends our scene. That which is true. These things are dark.
This is it. This is it. It's just like I always said. It's the survival of the fittest. Well, that ship's gone, that plane's gone. They weren't the fittest. And you know what? Maybe I'm not either. That's okay. Words to live by. And I got a warning for you guys out there if you make it. Murphy's Law. Don't ever expect anything to go your way. It won't. Good luck.
This is Bryce, first deck lieutenant. One of my biggest regrets, beyond just not living up to my other men here, is not being the best soldier I could have been, not being the best son I could have been, and I just, beyond living amongst all these soldiers and pilots and infantry, I just always wanted to have something I could look up to, something that I could have within me and let it out into the world. A family. I guess Mom back home, I haven't seen her in a long time, and if it's possible, I would want to figure out how to get back and talk to Cindy and let her know how much I loved her, but I was just too chicken to actually pull the trigger and talk to her. And just maybe, who knows what could have been.
Are you my father?
Huh? What are you doing on this ship? Are you my daddy? I can be. I need to go home. What's your name, little boy? I forget. Are you my daddy? Yeah, I can be. Let's go. I gotta call you something. I mean, little guy just doesn't work. You can call me Aaron. That's what they called me. Aaron, let's go see what we can do. Come on. Let's go find some hope somewhere.
The ships are dying, and so are we. But I warn you, we're dying more slowly, more painfully, more greedily. Regret? I regret nothing. Except, I regret everything. Because I'll soon be forgotten. If only I had glory and fame, only then would a goodbye have been warranted.
Anyone out there listening, this is Stephen Selig, Tech First Class of the USS ORANGEeyes. I don't know why they came, but they're here and they're real. I've seen them disappear without a trace. Be careful and watchful. I don't know if we're going to make it out or not, but if we do, I just hope we're all better to each other. Signing off.